Hello everyone, welcome back to Kubernetes Zero to Hero series. In last video we learned about config maps. Today we are going to see about secrets. What if you want to store sensitive information like database password, API keys and access tokens or certificates? Would you store them in config map? Definitely not, because they are sensitive. So where we will store it? We will store it in the secrets. That's where secrets come in. So let's get started. We'll understand what are Kubernetes secrets. Imagine we have an application which needs a database username and password to connect to a database. Hard coding those credentials inside application is definitely not secure. So we have a secure way to store it and to manage the sensitive information separately in the application code. Secret can be stored are database password, API keys, OAuth tokens, SSH keys, and TLS certificates. And they will help us to improve the security so that it makes the applications easier to manage. So this is what is secrets. Why we don't use config maps? Many beginners ask this question, why just can't we use a config map? The answer is very simple. Config maps are designed for non-sensitive configuration data like application settings, configuration settings, environmental variable. The name itself suggests config maps, so feature flags, etc. But secrets, on the other hand, as the name suggests, are specifically designed for sensitive information. So whenever you're dealing passwords, tokens or keys, always use secrets, not config maps. Let's see the difference between map and secret quickly. So config map will store non-sensitive data used for application configuration, and it is easy to read and modify. Whereas secret store sensitive information used for credentials and tokens. Values are base 64 coded. So this is a very important thing to remember. Base 64 encoding is not called encryption. It only converts the data into a different format. And for production environments, we need to have encryption at rest inside Kubernetes cluster. How to create a secret? So let's try and create a simple secret manifest. This is the code how we write in the YAML file. We'll have an API. So generally for having the secrets, we have to make choose, so it can be v1 likewise. What is the kind? The kind is like secret. In the metadata, the child components are name and type. Name will be db secret and type is opaque. So opaque is the default secret type used for storing arbitrary key value pairs, and inside the data section we store values in base 64 encoded format. So once we create the YAML file, then we can go ahead and use this codes, that is kubectl kubectl apply for dash f secret.yaml. So this will help to apply the changes and create the YAML file with the secret. Once it gets created, we can verify it by running the second command, that is kubectl get secrets, and then we'll be able to see the secret that has been created. Uh, and how can we use the secrets in pods? So creating a secret is only half the job. Now we need to use it inside an application. So the most common method is to use the environment variables. And how do we do that? We have the specifications that we use, which is value from followed by a secret key reference. This allows Kubernetes to inject the secret value direct into the container environment. As a result, the application can access sensitive information without hard coding it. Let's look at some of the few interview questions. Config map versus secret. Are secrets encrypted, and how do you view secrets? So not necessarily by default they are base 64 encoded. For stronger security, enable encryption at rest. And we can have RBAC also for the same. So before we wrap up, here are some best practices. Never store passwords inside a source code. Use RBAC to restrict secret access. Enable encryption at rest at the cluster. Rotate the credentials regularly and follow the principle of giving least privilege access. These practices will definitely improve the cluster security. That's it for today's video on Kubernetes Secret. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button, comment and subscribe to the channel. Also comment below what Kubernetes topic would you like me to cover next. In the next episode of our Kubernetes Zero to Hero series, we will learn about persistent volumes and persistent volume chains claims which are essential for managing storage in Kubernetes. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video.